Welcome back, folks. It's one of those nights with the game glitches. I know you all know what to do, and I hope you find your way back safely. Jacques managing just to avoid the Alfa Romeo there of Royal Viking, who is making a little bit of a habit of getting in the way tonight, it seems. And down into turn 13. Nick Gishen currently on top with a 29.3 and has retired at that point. Pantry Start on a 29.4. Umer on a 29.779. Looks like the driver's just allowing some room for the drivers at risk here to put their laps in. Top Gunner's retired. Buntiers is reserving the ban. Shakes has retired on a 30.622, but may well have damaged the car by the look of things and will be eliminated. Bert's lap will not be anything to write home about here. It looks like 0-2 is starting his next one, and as OP Mark has managed to find his way back, that's very good news. Apologies for these kicks. Seems to happen every time someone joins the lobby during qualifying. If you see it happen again, of course, go straight back to the channel page, hit refresh until the new live stream appears, and we'll get you back on track as soon as possible. Apologies for the interruptions in the broadcast. Could just be another Codemasters bug, but it does seem to happen more to me dialing in as I am from abroad in these instances. I think someone did join for the race. So 0-2 gets some good second sector, purple second sector for him. Well, for anyone, I guess, as they're on the second and third runs now. So down towards the final corner. He's looking for 0.7 of a second to get on terms here with Nick. 0.6 versus Pantry Start. And what will this one be? It's actually 0.8 of a second, and I did my maths completely wrong. He gets a 30.0, very close to Avalak, and settles down into 5th place. Should be safe from elimination. Martin goes second very quickly there on a 0-3. Permanent yellow flags on the track mean I cannot see for the life of me what laps people are putting in, and it looks like Uzi is attacking his next lap now. Hoping to get through to Q3 is Uzi for the McLaren team. Need to get on top of his brother's performance at the moment. Very much the second McLaren driver in the current season, and McLaren needing the points in the combined constructors championship as well. Short shifting on the way out of 13. See a lot of drivers applying the throttle just a little bit too early or too much and running out of space on the exit of 13. Getting the smoothest run. A little rub on the wall there. Rolex won't thank him for scuffing the wall, but I don't think Uzi will be worried too much about that contact. Into final sequence. Camilla has joined us. Excellent. So Camilla is one of the Osman family, cheering on both McLaren drivers. Away to the line then for Uzi. This is good enough for 7th, one of the 3 drivers on a 30.0 for Uzi. Nice lap in the end. Rubbing the wall, maybe cost him a 10th or 2. Smoothly through the final corner comes Jacques. He's currently 12th on a 31.2. It's coming into the pits, so no major improvement going to happen there. Here comes Brad then, going faster than he's gone before through second sector. Jumps up to 4th as Brad, a 29.563. Certainly in contention there for pole position come the race time if you're in to the 1 minute 29 1.5 or below, I think you might have a chance. So Brad with that one. Nick, though, is the fastest in Q2. Martin second, Country Star in third. But we will say goodbye until the race time to Bert's, Jacques, Top Gun and Boutniers, unless Shakes is eliminated. Well, I don't think Shakes will rejoin. I think he perhaps had a bit of damage there in the session and has had to retire from all qualifying. Yeah, where we see Shakes is eliminated. We will have 9 drivers in Q3. Nick with a 29.3, Martin, Pantry Star, Brad, Umair, Avalak, all very close to one another, Avalak, Zero and Uzi, and then Royal Viking about half a second away from P8, and we'll see what he's got come the end of Q3. No more to be done by Shakes. Bert's, of course, with his quali ban. Sorry, Boutniers with his quali ban. Bert's, Jacques, and Top Gun all out of Q2. So, who do you fancy for pole? I know that Nick Gishan has got a lot of love from the likes of Perna and others, but who's cheering for, who reckons that Umair's going to get it? Who can stop Martin on his run for pole, do you think, here tonight? And will Pantry Star get himself up near that front row as well? You can see Chums has joined the session, but as he didn't join from the start of the session, he won't get straight into it. So there's a join and a leave very quickly from the lobby. Not quite sure what's happening there. Nick's going to attack the racetrack first, so Pantry Star just behind him. Anyone with any suggestions where you think we're going to see the most overtakes into turn 1 or into turn 27? We may get a bit of side-by-side action into 13, but it's unlikely. You really have to time your run very, very well coming up to an overtaking opportunity. If you try and barge your way past, the fact that there's so many switchback corners and chicanes, open chicanes I should say, means that the walls near very quickly. Welcome to Fahim, who joins us, Daddy Osman, and to Tiago, who's found his way back and is still cheering for AlphaTauri, of course. And Chums keeps flashing in and out of the lobby, so if that's not going to be more trouble for my connection. Nick then will attack his next go. The first attempt into Q1, gets the car slow right down through turn 2. Really got a stamp on the throttle. And the races I've seen around here, it's really hard to make an overtake stick on the way out of turn 2, thanks to the differing angles that you make your way in if you're trying to make an overtake. If your rival that you're trying to overtake just chooses to use the middle line into the overtaking opportunities, there's not much you can do about it. Nick on a 32.5 in his first sector, waiting for the car to grip in. Looks like he's got a good angle coming out at 13. This is 14. 3 gears down into the Rolex section. DRS is open in the middle of the lap before then hitting the brakes again here. And now it's just VMAX flat out until you get to that final corner. Not much to do in that last sector really. 2 braking zones only. Nice wide entry into the final corner for Nick. threads the needle on the way out of the final corner and heads towards the line. He will log himself a 29.0. Not in the 28s just yet, but it's not impossible tonight. Pantry start. What's his first lap going to look like? Crosses the line on a 29.7. That's a lot slower than Nick at this stage of proceedings. Do we have Umer about to cross? Yes, we do. Now that we've got plenty of Osmonds watching, a 28.6 is huge time from Umer, and that absolutely stamps his impression on this session. Royal Viking is only on an out lap. Brad is about to finish his lap, and he was in the top 4 in Q2. Brad goes 4th here at 29.4, and then really the superstar of qualifying so far, or at least recently in the sessions, is Martin. Will he get the provisional pole? You betcha he will. 28.468. We're going to have Martin, Umer and Nick absolutely battling for it. I think Nick can find a fair amount of time through his lap and be right on the money at the top. Will Avalak get in the mix? What happened to Pantry Star's pace? All big questions as 0-2 gets a 29.4. And it looks like it's just going to be Royal Viking to set his first lap still. He's not risking blocking anybody's lap in Q3 of the first runs as he did in Q2, but will he have his lap blocked just the same? Typo joins us and appropriately misspells Martin. No, only just making a joke. I know exactly what you're up to, Typo, but cheering on Martin all the same. AP Marg enjoyed Umer's short stint at the top of proceedings, but I'm sure Umer will give it his best in his next run. Here comes the Viking. AP Marg is split between the two for calling for pole. Well, you better balance off the support then, because Umer's got a lot of support with him. I think you should continue to support Martin. Royal Viking with a 30.9, so we do have a 1.5 second split here between first and ninth. Everyone in the pits apart from 0-2 and Royal Viking, who are on their way into the pits themselves. Let's see if the drivers feel like doing a 3-lap special in Q3, or it'll just be a 2. I've got Madtrav watching as well. Madtrav, do be careful joining the lobby. Typo says, am I updated on steward reports? Yeah, I was aware that we had a Boontiers quali ban and a Brad three-place loss at the end of the race. If you know of more than that, Typo, tell me, but that's what I'm aware of. I did mention it in the previous stream before I was kicked, so hopefully I will remember Brad's thing. It's going to be tricky for me, but I've now said it twice, so that should have cemented it in my mind. Shellin says, why can't I see the stream? I don't know, mate. Sorry. I think other people can see the stream. There we go. It's all right now. Good. Good. Hopefully you took your sunglasses off, or whatever it was that was causing the issue. Into the pits then they come, and it looks like Nick is already on his outlap, and is, I would imagine, only going to fit in one more lap here. One more set of tyres being used at least. Around the final corner we go. We'll watch Nick while he's positive, but we should give some time to other drivers. He's timing his runs expertly to get on stream. So 128.468 is the target, and a 6/10 improvement is what Nick is looking for here to get a provisional pole position. The track continues to evolve. I don't think we'll get much grip degradation as the evening sets just within this short session, so I don't think there's a huge penalty for running at this point rather than the final minute. We shall see. Purple sector, 1/10 improvement then for Nick. Good line coming out of the corner, steady throttle application. Very late downshift to 5th and then a quick upshift again to stabilise the car. Heading towards that 2nd sector before the braking zone, and he's gained a 1/4 of a second just about, and around we go. Unfortunately, that is a dramatic way to suffer against those curbs that are ever so difficult. Pantry Star hopefully will be clear of Avalak's Red Bull in front on his run. Pantry Star's gained a 1/4 of a second alone in the 1st sector. Maybe Mark saying the curb is a killer. You're not wrong, definitely is. And is that how you spell curb in South Africa? I don't mean to call attention if you have just written a typo, but not the way we write it here in England. 1/2 a second improvement then for Pantry Star in, just over the curve, just sat the car down in time. So 1/2 a second up, that will be knocking on the door of the 28s, but a little way away yet, unless this final sector is something else. Or he really stuffed up his final sector on the previous lap. Away we go then, towards the start-finish line for Pantry Star, and across the line. P3, 128.9, just inside the 28s, but not very close to Martin and Umair with just under 2 minutes to go. I think these are the final laps being had by everybody. Brad negotiating his 1st sector. His 1st sector is quicker than he's gone before. We've got Martin on an out lap. We've got Umair actually on a hot lap at the moment. 101.198 his 2nd sector. No, warming the car, getting ready for the next run, as is 02. So we'll check in back with Pantry Star, who is on a hot lap, I think. Or is he? No. Definitely not on a hot lap. Come on, boys, let's find one of you actually pushing, shall we? Martin's still on an out lap at the moment. Uzi's done. Royal Viking is going quicker by a 10th. Trying to get on terms here with Uzi in 8th place. Did well to get through to Q3, did Royal Viking, and gets a lot closer by 7/10 in that 6/10 found in that final sector. It worked out very well indeed. Martin is really delaying this run. Nick has retired from 5th place. Very unusual to see Nick all that way down and to retire early. But he fancies his chances in the race, I'm sure. Lots and lots of slow laps going in at the moment, just to be on track at the absolute perfect moment. I fancy here is Martin then on one. Wow, very, very adventurous with the entry curb. Spelling update from AP Mark, awesome. It's K-E-R-B for reference from us. Umair goes on a provisional pole, 27.9, dips into the 27s for the first time tonight. First lap we've seen at that level. Umair with a very good lap indeed. So Martin has it all to do. He's got to find a hefty chunk of time, 5/10 of a second for Martin. Let's see what sector 2 looks like for him on the approach to the braking zone. Only 1.5 tenths faster so far than he's been, but that is still a purple middle sector. So it's all about how he can conquer this final corner. Slightly blind entry to the apex as well. Depends how much camera turn you've got to the apex on your visual settings. Where we go then with Martin. Can he take pole position? No, very close, but no cigar. It's Umair on pole, and I don't think anyone's going to challenge that. What about Avalak? He's 3/10 to the good. He's up to P3 on a 28.673. into the 28s, but Umair untouchable in Q3, bringing the speed when it counted right at the death of the session. And Umair, our championship leader, will take the pole today with a peerless effort, frankly. Tremendous. Hopefully he's set it for qualifying, and it'll be more of a challenge for him in the race. Umair, 27.944, clearing away pole sitter there with a magic lap from Martin on a fine lap himself at 28.206. A little further back than Avalak in third place. I think it's going to be a two-horse race if everything goes to plan. Brad in fourth, Pantry Star in fifth, then comes Nick Gishan in sixth, 0-2 in seventh, Uzi in eighth, and Royal Viking in ninth place. The drivers sitting out of Q2 will rejoin us. I think we may also have some extra drivers joining us, at least one, Chums, and I think probably Mad Trav is watching in the background. I bet he's sorely tempted to start from the back and show everyone how it's done. A Premier Division driver, but that is your starting grid, and hopefully we'll get underway soon. Let me remind you of that championship positions as things stand. It is Umair on top on 124, Martin on 99, Pantry Star on 87, and then joint third Avalak and Chums on 67 each. 0-2 Cool in sixth place, with Boontiers, Top Gun, Uzi and Super D making out the top 10 drivers. Nick Gishan in 11th at the moment will be looking to get a better haul of points from this race, no doubt. Let's have your predictions then quickly for the podium finish here tonight, and the order that you think they're going to finish. And we will give you extra kudos if you've done it before the end of the formation lap or when the lights start. Anyone predicting a non-Umair victory, I wonder. Let's see. Strategies locked in for everybody. Around now, any final front wing and differential adjustments being made, choosing their fueling for the race. Would anybody be willing to underfuel, anticipating a safety car? I think it's quite likely that would be the case. There's not much you can do to lift and coast. The braking zones are quite short around here, just two significant braking zones on the track into 1 and into 27. So, formation lap beginning for the drivers. Let's have a look at the tyre selection at this stage. A complete rainbow mix. Jacques, the only driver starting on softs from P12. We'll see how he moves forward. Then a mix of medium and hard tyres. Hard to medium. Not again.